A long time ago there lived an old poet, a true kind poet. As he was sitting one evening in his room, a dreadful storm arose great down, and the rain streamed down from heaven. But the old poet sat warm and comfortable in his chimney corner, where the fire plashed and the roasting apple hissed. Those who have not a roof over their heads will be wetted to the skin, said the old poet. Oh, let me in! I'm cold and I'm so wet, exclaimed suddenly a child that stood crying at the door and looking for admittance, while the rain poured down and the wine made all the window rattle. Poor thing, said the old poet, as he went to open the door. There stood a little boy, quite naked, and the water ran down from his long golden hair. He trembled with cold, and had he not come into a warm room, he would most certainly have pressed in the frightful tempest. Poor child, said the old poet, as he took the boy by the hand. Come in, and I will soon restore thee. Thou shalt have wine and roasted apples, for thou art verily a charming child. And the boy was so willing. His eyes were like two bright stars, and although the water tricked down his hair, it waved in beautiful curls. He looked exactly like a little angel, but he was so pale, and his whole body charms great cold. He had a nice little pole in his hand, but it was quite spoiled by the rain, and the tints of his many colored auras ran into the other. The old poet seated himself behind his host and took the little fellow on his lap. He squeezed the water out of his dripping hair, warmed his hands between his own, and brought for him some sweet wine. Then the boy recovered his cheeks. When rosy, he jumped down from the loft where he was sitting and danced like a kind old poet. You are a merry fellow, said the old man. What's your name? My name is Cupid, answered the boy. Don't you know me? They laugh. My paw is short. Well, I can assure you. Look, the weather is now clear, and the is shining clear again through the window. Why, your paw is quite spoiled, said the old poet. That was sad indeed, said the boy, and he took the bowl in his hand and examined it on every side. Oh, it is dry again, and it's not hard at all. The drying is quite tired. I will try it directly. And he bent his paw to aim and shot an arrow at the pot right into his heart. You see now that my paw was not spoiled, said he, laughing, and he ran away. The nasty boy saw the poem in that way. He who had taken him into his own room, who had treated him so kindly, and who had given him warm wine and the very best of lies. The poor poet lay on the edge and wept, for the arrow had really flown into his heart. "Fie," said he, "how naughty a boy Cupid is! I will tell all children about him, that they may take care and not play with him, for he will only cause them sorrow and marry a heartache." and all good children to whom he related this story took great heed of this charity caput, but he made fools of them still, for he is often cunning when the university students come from their lectures. He runs beside them in a black coat, and with a book under his arm. It is quite impossible for them to know him, and they walk along with him arm in arm, as if he too were a student like themselves, and them and burst. He thrust and rolled to their bosom when the young maidens come from being examined by the clergyman or to just to be confined. He is again close behind them. Yes, he is forever following people at their play. He sits in the great standing room and burns in the bright flames so that people think it is really a flame, but they soon discover it is something else. He rose upon the garden as a palace, and upon the ramparts. Yes, when he even shot your father and mother right and in the heart, asked them only, and you won't hear when they tell you. Oh, he is a naughty boy, that Capulet. You must never have anything to do with him. He is forever running after everybody. Only thing he shot an oral once at your old grandmother, but that is a long time ago, and it is all past now. However, I think of that shot. She never forgets. Fine, nasty Caput. But now you know him, and you know too how behaved he is.